So we missed this last week because it just came out as we recorded. So Discovery Channel buying the rights to the downhill World Cups.
Big un, huh?
Dope or nope? Is it good? Is it bad? I've been having a little bit of a flit around. We've had a few people reach out wanting to give me their opinion, which has been quite nice. So appreciate that. I don't want to take that opinion of someone, especially that is quite close to you, Ollie, and I know quite well. He sent me a really interesting WhatsApp thread, and I don't want to just regurgitate that because that's not fair.
Oh, please do. Because, well, right, okay, fair enough.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not really fair to regurgitate that. So I always want to have a conversation with you about it, Ollie. So,
please.
Discovery Channel have come in. They've bought the rights to the UCI Downhill World Cups. That's cross country and downhill, obviously.
Yeah.
8 years. So 2023. So it starts next
really?
year.
I mean,
to 2030.
Mad, yeah.
So there's a few big questions.
Does it say what that deal was worth, by the way?
Dude, I've been looking everywhere trying to find out what that deal's worth. Yeah, I've been looking, and maybe the Generation Z guy can find it, Ben Z, but I don't think it's public knowledge, and I don't think a lot of these deals are public knowledge. Because what I was doing, I was trying to figure out a sport which is similar to mountain biking, and what those TV deals are worth. So I was looking at World Surf League, how much do they get in? I was looking at cage fighting, a lot different, but I'm looking at like fringe sports, basically, not mainstream football, rugby, cricket, etc.
It does all apply.
And dude, you can't find you can't find anything.
Really? What about the Reebok deal? I remember that when that came about in the UFC, the Reebok deal was like a big thing, wasn't it? Yeah, it was huge. And you can see the Premiership numbers; they're massive. They're in the I think it's $5 billion that BT paid for that. So I think the interesting topic here for me is how big mountain biking is. How big cycling is, how much is this deal worth? I honestly have no idea. I can't find out. But it's going to be substantial for an 8-year sports deal. Like it's not going to be pennies that and in a sport that is exciting. It's just gone through a huge growth trajectory through lockdown. It's only seeming to get bigger. I guess a few of the points are: is it only getting bigger because of Red Bull's involvement? And when they dip out, does it fall off a cliff? I don't know. Yeah, I guess I feel more unprepared for this than fucking talking about.
Yeah, sorry, I should have told you I wanted to talk about this,
mate. Not at all. No, I feel like I should have. I should know more. Almost. I don't know what. So, what sports do Discovery currently cover? Well,
they own Eurosport.
Okay,
so a lot. yeah.
So
they got football, hockey, pool. Dude, they're involved in a lot of stuff by the looks of things, and they're also currently trying to go 50-50 with BT Sport, because BT Sport are trying to pull out of a lot of sports. So Eurosport Discovery are big in the game, dude, and we know they own other media outlets as well.
Yeah, so
some of which we know of quite well, because it's not a secret. It's like GMBN, GCN, it's owned by the Discovery network.
I think the point was almost thinking in my head was that so what we're really talking about is a different title here, rather than they're still going to do an amazing job of covering it, right?
Yeah.
So in terms of actually quality of footage, it's not going to go downhill all of a sudden.
I dare say Discovery are going to know a thing or two about being outdoors and covering sporting events.
Yes.
They are going to know what's going on, and they've obviously looked at it and they've seen that they can make changes.
Okay, yeah. So what changes there are there like regional changes, I guess.
Okay.
I suppose that actually is the same for Red Bull, but I know that it's different to get it in different countries. I wonder whether it'll be further. It'll be more difficult, or whether you have to have more membership or pay, or a paywall, or I don't know.
I feel like these are the big. Like, if you read through, I avoid these a lot, but like the pink bike comments, people's initial thoughts are, will it stay free? That's like the biggest one. Will it stay free? And at the moment, they've not actually said if it will or not. But
shortly followed by, what's Warner doing?
What's Warner doing? That is literally, that is pretty much it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because, Warner is, dude... Is downhill without Warner? I don't know.
I can't imagine.
And who else? Who else would replace Warner? Do you think?
You can't. There's no one.
Who else? There is no one. It's tough, man. What an amazing situation for Rob to be in, though. And he's worked his ass off to be there, right? But like,
yeah, he worked hard, hasn't he? He's not
interested to be in that position where, you know, most fans of a sport, I dare say, 90%, probably more, 95% of people.
Here is a weird one. It almost, totally, yeah. It is weird that a company acquisition, which is essentially what this is, can affect an entire sport, because it can affect like the whole sport can be affected, because it's like cross country as well, and you know, it's just it's everything about our the competitive channel of our sport is now in the hands of someone completely different. He clearly knows a thing or two, but it's just it does have.
There is a lot of questions there, and what I find quite interesting, dude, is that again, Pinkbite did something where they asked athletes what they thought, right?
Yeah.
What I find is quite interesting is that the athletes, so the stars, the talent, have no idea what this looks like. Now, I find that super interesting.
Yeah.
That, you know, they're almost, you know, not employees, but like, you know, it's those guys. That's why you tune in. You don't tune in to fucking look at the quality of the broadcast, right? You tune in because you want to see Bernard win whatever these people's runs. They should have, in my opinion, way more of a say in what's going on, what they feel like the direction of the sport is, how they want it to be perceived. I feel like that's a big thing, you know, and I don't know if other sports include their talent, let's say, in these deals. I feel like they would. I don't know why. I just feel like they would.
Absolutely no idea. Yeah, I guess there should be like a riders representative. I don't know if there is.
Yeah, no, I don't think there is. But also, you know, sponsorship deals are reliant on this stuff. You know, so if you're taking Red Bull away, so it's not on that thing, and you're like, you know, as a team manager going to a big brand, let's say you're going to, I don't know, Mercedes, and you're pitching them like, do you want to be involved in this thing? Okay. What does this TV package look like? Where are we going to see our logo? What would you say to them? Yeah. You know, I don't know. I've no idea. Do we own the footage? I don't know. Totally. I have no idea.
Yeah, like if you go to the extreme to imagine it, just imagine it gets bought up. And I'm not saying that that Discovery is. This is a, you know, you could view it as an opportunity. This could be like an opportunity to be bought up by a way bigger broadcaster. But imagine it gets sold to a real shitter. You know what I mean? You know, when you used to have a terrestrial TV and you used to just press plus on the program button and it would just go
like
through
Canal.
Oh,
Canal
mate,
Plus.
yeah. Canal.
Yeah.
You just keep going and you just go deeper down a rabbit hole of just like...
It's on Babe Station.
Exactly. So you can't think that it wouldn't affect like all of the athletes and everyone involved if it all of a sudden, if World Cup downhill mountain biking was exclusively on Babe Station, it would have a massive effect on the sport, on the industry. Effect. Yeah, so it does matter.
A lot of unknowns. And I think Bernard, again, Pinkbite did this thing where they asked athletes, and I was going to try and speak to a few people and get their, you know, take on it that's not going to go on a massive website and see what people thought. Haven't got around to it, but there you go. Next week, maybe. Just interesting to think that, like, Bernard's main thing was, you know, owning his rights to the POV footage. And I don't know, like, again, as an athlete, that's kind of important. You want to be able to show your race run. I think we've seen, especially with something like Rampage, people are more interested a lot of the time in the run-ups, and they want to see behind the scenes. You want to see a race run, a track preview. And I feel like, and I might be off, that Red Bull has been suppressing that quite a lot. Only certain people can put footage out. Personally, for the growth of the sport, I want to see shit tons of it.
Yeah, Andros snapped his memory card at one Rampage as in protest. You know,
really?
he felt that the prize money and appearance money wasn't enough to just hand over everything. You know, do all of it. You build the event, you ride the event, you give promote the event, and then you give away the rights to your own images that you're pressing the button on and collecting. And
how interesting.
Yeah, and he took a stand and snapped his memory card, and like, I mean, it all seems pretty petty compared to what we were talking about earlier, but he does have a point, and it is interesting, isn't it? And like, Bernard's completely the same with that. If you don't own it, then it's like someone else.
Another thought I had, slightly different tangent but similar. is, especially in other sports, I'm going to use fighting, boxing at the moment for an analogy. You've got someone like Jake Paul coming in and creating a totally different division. How feasible do you think that is, that someone could, or some big player, man? Right? Maybe our mate from the other week, Kevin. Is it Kevin? The billionaire comes along and says, you know what, I'm going to host 5 races, 5 different countries. Prize money is insane. Yeah. Well, prize money is actually insane. TV rights are better. Yeah. Own your footage. How many riders do you think jump ship? It's like the UFC and whatever.
Like, I guess there's the Monster Millions,
Bellator,
but Monster also sponsored the Supercross. But if they didn't,
I think that's ended.
Yeah. Oh, I wonder who's doing that.
I think that's ended for next year. I don't think they're doing it next year.
I guess the thing is, like, I sound like a bit of a dickhead, but I actually did my dissertation on external sponsorship from outside of the sports, so from big corporate companies. And I can't remember what the case study
kept
was.
That one quiet for 2 years.
Not helpful. But it was like an insurance company pulled out of the rugby league, and the argument, I think, or the reason I brought it up in that bloody essay thing, which was painful, was that they had no interest other than their sponsorship. So you could say that Red Bull have now gotten, it's like they are one of us. It's not like the same as if a completely unrelated.
Well, it's like Oracle with Red Bull and F1.
Yeah, exactly.
Oracle's
exactly. If they pull out, if Oracle came in with a load of money,
really.
That money isn't necessarily going to be there next year for downhill mountain biking. Do you know what I mean?
No.
And I guess that's where Red Bull is actually not I don't feel the same anymore about them. I feel like they've kind of grown with the sports that they support to a point where they're they don't work without them.
They've got like so much more skin in the game. I think a lot of it, someone like Oracle or Santander or something like that, a lot of it is tax write-off, right? So they'll come in and just be like, yeah, cool, Formula 1 team, slap our stuff on there. How much money can we get rid of? Yeah, 30 million. Cool, get rid of it. Whereas, like you said, Red Bull have grown a sport.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, it sells energy drinks, which is ultimately what they're trying to do. That is also a thing, but they've also done so much more for the sport than just throw money at it.
Absolutely, they have. They've done it in a good way. Absolutely, yeah.
So, Red Bull, they took UCI
10 years ago,
10 years ago. Were there these sorts of conversations when Red Bull took over?
Yeah, because Monster used to...
Freecaster
did it. Then like different companies would sponsor different events, wouldn't they? Because I remember Monster used to be at Fort William, like with a massive... There was loads of Monster presents, like banners on track. It wasn't every race, but it was like... They used to spono some of them when it was Freecaster, yeah.
And so did then Red Bull come out and say it's going to be free to watch all year round, basically, and won't cost you anything when they started? Or did people also think that?
I can't remember, dude. I don't really remember the transition.
I remember it was always going to be free, especially when you think it was called Freecaster before. So it was like, that was a big part of the discussion. I think that it was, and for Red Bull, it's like they're not there for ticket sales, are they? You know what I mean? That's what makes you wonder.
Imagine if Discovery come in and say, we want Freecaster Warner back in that booth. So load him up on beers, go shoot your shot. Because the free, you'll not remember those, Benny, but the Freecaster days of Warner commentating were pretty iconic. He used to get loose in that comedy box. It was a comedy box, but a commentary box.
Wicked.
Yeah, it was good, really, really good. So, and then I think Red Bull have taken Rob and honed him into what he is now, which is
they've taken the sport, haven't they? Really, when you think about it, back then they've taken the whole sport and made it more professional. So, I think it. What I wonder is whether they're going to take the same team. Like Bill, who's on a camera, the people that set up the live feed, switch the buttons. Whether it's literally just going to be that same team. So they're like. Yeah,
or they'll just can everyone.
Exactly,
it's going to be interesting. I think it's something that as a podcast we should just keep an eye on it, see what's going on, see if we can get any inside knowledge. Because I think people, ultimately we are a mountain bike show sometimes, so not just war correspondents, but we should try and keep an eye on this and see how it's going to progress. Because like you said, it could make or break a sport, which is insane to think. Benny, quick Google for me, dude. Disc golf TV rights. Anything on there, mate? Let's see what disc golf gets, because we better be 5,000 times bigger than that shit.
We're about to get shut down, dude. It's going to be on like fucking
the Disc Golf Network.
Of course there is.
That's what it's called.
£8.85.
It's
pay-per-view. Get fucked.
It's pay-per-view for the Disc Golf Network.
Is there paint drying network? No, that's mean.
That's
mean.
mean.
That's pointless.
That's mean.
I just rebelled because I got so shut down by the whole community before.
Yeah, man.
We'll get them back.